It's Tanya and my art journaling adventure is continuing, and this time I'm using my homemade sprays. I mentioned them in a previous video where I went out and I bought these little spray bottles. Essentially I wanted to do this for two reasons. Number one, oh, and watch this. Let's take a brief moment to observe Tanya and her indecisiveness on what to do with stencils and spray. Yep, I am actually drying that because I was worried that if it got on the paper it would all go squishy and horrid. So yes, but I do learn in this video. I learn to let go a little bit. Anyway, getting back to the sprays. Some of my sprays, I've had some of my sprays for a long time and they are getting a bit clogged and they're not spraying nicely and it drives me scatty. So I saw Irit, I think it was on Patreon, might have been on Patreon, where she showed how she made her own mists from using liquid watercolor, and I thought it was a great idea. And I had been waiting to find bottles, and then I remembered we had a plastics place and they would probably have bottles, so I went and I found and I bought a whole bunch. And yeah, you can see, oh look, I'm even getting braver now. I'm going on to a third page. But anyway, I keep interrupting myself with my goofiness with the stencils. The second part of the reason why I wanted to make my own sprays is because I have quite a few liquid watercolors. I have the Dr. P.H. Martins and I have some of the Jane Davenport ones, and they're just sitting in a, and I apologize for the brief flashes of sun, they're just sitting in a box not being used, and that is not the idea. We buy these things with great excitement and then don't use them because of the fact that they're inconvenient to use sometimes. So yeah, and they really turned out nicely. Some of them are a sort of hybrid mixture where I've taken some of the P.H. Martins and some of the Jane Davenport and mixed them together, and I couldn't tell you now what mixtures I made. I was going to write it down, but then I thought that was being terribly overly overly anal about the whole process. So I have, and I think you will see it in a future video, I have made labels for them, so at least I know what the colours are because that is useful. But getting back to what I've done, I took that very pretty stencil, it came in one of the Hip Kit Club colour add-ons, and I've sprayed all sorts of colours, and then I put a little bit of white acrylic paint around the edges, and now I am taking the latest, I don't know when this goes up, maybe there are more, but these are Irit's Printables from her Patreon. If you're not part of that, you really should go and check it out. It's great fun and you get a ton of inspiration and gorgeous stuff for very little. So yeah, I printed them on sticker paper and I had the two girls, and then I wasn't too sure what to do with them, and then I thought, okay, well, why don't I just create clothes for them? So I did, and I was actually quite chuffed with how this turned out. So I've given her a bodice, and I'm going to give her a skirt, and then I'm going to give her some sleeves because it looks a bit odd without sleeves. I am still rather literal when I come to these art journaling spreads. I am trying to let go of my conservativeness. There we go, there's a good term. I am trying to do that, but I am, my innate nature still comes out. So I am still a very clean art journaler and quite literal with my interpretation of things, but it's working for me and I'm very happy with my progress so far. And if you have been following these videos, you will have noticed that I am making some progress, and I also have a very warped idea of the female body. She is very skinny. Mind you, back in the day I was relatively skinny too, but not that skinny. Still, she looks cute and it's a pretty dress, so we're just gonna go with it. And can I just say that it took me an inordinate amount of time to edit this video, because much of this video is me battling with that sticker sheet to get the backing off. But I cut all of that out because it drove me nuts. I need to investigate sticker paper that might be easier to use. But yeah, so I gave her some sleeves as well, and I was going to give her little sleeves, those blue ones that I made as the sort of bodice part. I was going to use those as sleeves, but they look stupid, so that was no good. And now I'm getting my Jane Davenport crayons out and dipping it in water and colouring in the hair, and I love how this came out. She has bright red hair, and the girlie next to her is going to have gorgeous yellow blonde hair. And yeah, these work beautifully when you dip them in water. In fact, it's the only way I use these crayons now. It's something that I picked up from Irit. I pick up everything from Irit. This is no surprise. I am a huge fan of hers, and she has taught me so much over the years that I have known her, that I actually can attribute my entire art journey to her. There we go. A little plug for a very good friend of mine. So yeah, so there I've coloured them in, and now I'm just going to add a few bits. Again, it's using up what I have left over from Hit Kit Club kits and stuff that I've bought, and I added some hearts onto the dresses to make them look, I don't know, prettier. There we go. Add a few hearts, and they really do look cute. I'm really very chuffed with this particular spread. And here we go, I've got my quote again, and it's going to, and I'm having to, sorry, I'm getting myself sidetracked. I am using up these letters. They're the only ones I've been using so far, and I'm determined to use them up, and there are so many of them. But I'm getting there. I'm starting to run out of letters and things, so hopefully I can get to the point where I feel like I have done them justice, and I can recycle them and move on to some other ones. But yeah, the quote reads, "Be your own kind of beautiful," and it's very difficult spelling a word backwards, and this font really confused me. That's meant to be an F. It is an F, but I have it backwards right now, and my brain knows it's wrong. It just hasn't quite worked out what's wrong with it. So, but I do. To eventually work out. There we go. Yeah, got it upside down. So yeah, so there we go. I got that going. I do, I giggle to myself a lot when I do these things, because I just screw up so much. And O's. I think in my previous video I was complaining about there aren't enough O's in these things, because that was a D that I had to Frankenstein. But it's all good, it looks fine, and getting some more of those, I don't remember what collection they come from, those glitter ones, those glitter words and things, but they're really lovely, and they do add a lovely sparkle to your page. And more hearts, because I've got hearts on the right hand side, and I'm going to bring in some of the glittery stuff on the right hand side. Oh, I'm doing my very wonky, I like this actually, doing a border around your page. It kind of brings it all together, in my humble opinion. And yeah, I think I'm going to get the glitter stuff again. There we go. Oh, I gave them arms. Very skinny arms, very weird looking arms, but as I am not much of a drawer, I am now using my imagination. I am letting it run wild. There we go, as wild as it's ever going to run. And I think I'm coming to the end, so I'm just giving them a bit of lip colour with a Prima watercolor pencil. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll keep watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.